Hello guys, I am Nidhishri S. Bagalwadi, your science teacher. In the last class, we discussed regarding the structure of an eye. Okay, we discussed in detail which are the parts of the eyes and what is their function. Today we are going to discuss regarding the capacity of the eyes. So today we are going to discuss regarding how we can see the far object, how can we see the nearer object. So in the last class, as we discussed regarding the structure of an eye, this is a structure, okay. So this is a cornea, as we all know, a transparent membrane, okay. Then this is a lens, so we will be having the convex lens, which is called crystalline lens. It is referred as crystalline lens, right? And here there will be a specialized muscles. No doubt iris will be there, which holds the movement of the pupil. And here above and below the lens we have specialized muscles which are called the ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles are involved in special function. So what is it we are going to learn? Before that, in the last chapter, that is in the previous chapter, we learned regarding the convex lens, right? We learned regarding the convex lens and different cases of the convex lens. So let us consider this as an optic center, and here we will be having the focal length 2f1, 2f, then f2, 2f2. Okay. So what happens here, if we keep an object very far from the lens, that is at an infinite distance, the rays of light will fall on the lens, they will get refracted and they will meet at the focus. They will meet at the principal focus. So this will be the focal length. Okay. And they will converge at a point. They will converge at a point. So the same case when we take into the consideration of our eye. So let us consider this as a convex lens. The crystalline lens acts as a convex lens, right? Then let us consider a ray of light from the object which is far is falling. So here when the ray of light will be falling, it must first cross the cornea, right? So cornea is also in a form of a convex shape. It is also a convex shape. So the first refraction occurs with cornea, so the light ray bends. This is the first refraction. Again it travels through the lens, again it bends, then it forms the image. Then it will get refraction. Then after that again one more ray if we take, as these both are the convex surfaces, as we have lens also in the form of a convex surface and cornea is also a form of a convex surface, the image is somewhere formed here. But when the image is formed here, whether we are able to see the image or an object? No. Why? Because according to the structure of the eye, all the images are formed on the screen, which is called as retina. Where is retina? Here is retina, this one. Okay. So this one is a retina. But the image is not forming there. Image is not forming there. So how is it possible for us to see the object which are far from us, which makes the image to be formed on retina? So that is done by this specialized muscles which are called as a ciliary muscles. So what does these ciliary muscles do? So when an object is at the far distance, ciliary muscles relax. What happens? The ciliary muscles relax. So here, if ciliary muscles are not there, an image and between the lens, the focal length will be there. No, it will be less. It will be less. So when the lens or ciliary muscles relax, the lens becomes thinner. The lens becomes thinner. So when the lens becomes thinner, the radius of curvature or the curvature becomes less. So when the radius of curvature becomes less, no doubt that the focal length increases. Why? Radius of curvature is inversely proportional to the focal length. So when the lens becomes thin due to the relaxation of ciliary muscles, okay, the radius of curvature or the curvature of lens decreases, which in turn increases the focal length, and hence the images will be formed on the retina. Yes, so this is due to the ciliary muscle action, the images will be formed on the retina and we are able to see the objects which are at far distance. Right? So here, this is regarding the ciliary muscles. So what we learned regarding ciliary muscles over here? Ciliary muscles, what they do, they control the curvature of lens. So when they relax, what happens? When the ciliary muscle relax, okay, lens becomes thin. Lens becomes thin. So when the lens becomes thin, curvature decreases. Okay, when curvature decreases, focal length, F, lowercase f represents focal length increases. So when focal length increases, image is formed on the retina. Image is formed on retina. Okay, image is formed on retina. This is when image is at far distance. Far distance. Okay, fine. So here, let us consider again a convex lens. Okay, let us consider again a convex lens. An object is placed near to the lens and the light rays which are passed, so they will undergo refraction and meet at a point. Which is a principal focus. Okay, which is a principal focus. Now, here we consider the object. When an object is very near to our eyes, so it will undergo refraction. The first refraction occurs through cornea and the second refraction occurs through the lens. So due to the refraction and object is at the nearer distance, the image will be formed quite far from the retina. So the image may be formed here. When the image is formed here, is it possible to see the object? No, because the image is not formed on a screen or a retina. So what we have to do now? What the ciliary muscles will do? The ciliary muscles will contract. So in the first case, they relaxed like this. Aram se means like this it will become. So the lens will become thin. But now ciliary muscles will contract. See, contract means the lens will become thicker, right? The radius of curvature becomes more. When the radius of curvature becomes more, focal length decreases because radius of curvature is inversely proportional to the focal length. So when the ciliary muscles contract and make the lens thicker, the image is formed on the retina. So the focal length decreases. So due to the action of ciliary muscles, the images will be formed on the retina, and when the images will be formed on the retina, the photoreceptor cells, as I said in the previous class, as rods and cones, they will send the message to the brain via electrical signals. If the image is not formed on the retina, the electrical signals will not pass to the brain through the rods or cones, and then we will not able to recognize what object it is, right? So this is the function of the ciliary muscles which control the thickness of the lens. So when the object is at the far distance, the ciliary muscles relax so that the lens becomes thin. When the object is at a nearer distance, the ciliary muscles will contract so that the lens becomes thicker, which decreases the focal length. So this capacity, this ability of the lens of our eye, that is a crystalline eye, to adjust to the focal length, is called as power of accommodation. This term is there, no? The power of accommodation states that it is defined as, so here, the ability of a lens to adjust its own focal length is called as power of accommodation. It is a capacity or a ability of lens to adjust its focal length. So how it will be adjusted? Through the ciliary muscles. To adjust its focal length is called as power of accommodation. So some of the objects which are nearer to our eyes, we can see clearly. So how much distance it is? The minimum distance with which our eyes can see the objects which are near to us. The minimum distance with which our eyes can see the object which are near to us is called as near point of the eye. Okay, near point or the least minimum distance of the distant object. Suppose if you are reading the newspaper, try to take the newspaper very close to your eyes. So sometime when you take the newspaper very close to your eyes, the words or the letters appears to be blurred. You can't read the newspaper. Okay, so there will be a certain minimum distance from which you can see the objects clearly. It should be near, means it should not be just right to your eye. So that minimum distance is called as near point of the eye, and the normal near point of the eye of a normal human being will be 25 centimeter. So the minimum distance of an object should be 25 centimeter, so that image will be formed before the eye of a person and he will recognize the object. It should be 25 centimeter. It should be not less than that. And the farthest, when the object is very far from your eyes, how much far? So that farthest point where you get the correct image of the object will be infinity. So the ability of the lens of our eye will be from 25 centimeter, this is a minimum distance, to infinity. This is the power of accommodation. Okay, so in the power of accommodation, what we studied? We studied the function of ciliary muscles. See how the chapters are interrelated. If you did not know regarding the curvature of the lens and the focal length, it is very tough to understand this chapter. So if we complete the light chapter and then move towards it, it is very easy. So when you are practicing or when you are revising for your exams, do the same things, so that when you read the interconnected chapters, you will understand better and you will remember the answers for a very longer time. So this is regarding the power of accommodation. In the upcoming sessions, we are going to learn the defects in the vision. So what happens when this 25 centimeter, even though a person is not able to see the object clearly at this distance or at this distance. So the problem in this one, 25 centimeter to infinity, this power of accommodation causes a defects in the vision. So what are those defects? How it can be corrected? Which kind of lenses will be used? Will be discussed in the next session. Let us meet you all in the next session to study the defects in vision. Until that, take care of your eyes. Have a nice day.